This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome into you. Hope you're having a fabulous start to your Friday. I'm Rebecca Smith.
And I'm Bill Bryant. The weekend is almost here. We have a lot going on, certainly in our world. Now at 6 o'clock this morning, France has been ravaged by yet another attack. Officials say 84 people are dead this morning after a truck plowed through a crowd gathered to celebrate Bastille Day in Nice.
Several new state laws will go into effect today. Coming up, we'll have a look at some that will impact thousands of you across the state.
And looking for something fun to do this weekend? All kinds of things. Several big events going on, of course, including the Bluegrass Fair, and we'll check in live.
We have a couple of showers early this morning down toward the Tennessee and Kentucky border. Other than that, we are good to go. I will tell you this, a couple of rumbles pop up later on this afternoon. Not a bad field this morning, much better than the past couple of days. I'll show you where those storms pop up and how does it look for the weekend. That's coming up.
All right, let's get right to our top story.
This morning, witness accounts are pouring in about carnage that played out in Nice, France, as the country mourns after this attack.
Meanwhile, the bloodshed is sending a shockwave through the political world here in the U.S., with both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump responding as the surrogates are weighing in. Reed Binion now continues our coverage of the attack this morning.
France is afflicted by this new tragedy.
French President Francois Hollande addressing a nation once again in mourning, just hours after a terror attack that left scores dead in the Mediterranean coastal city of Nice. It was Bastille Day, with festivities similar to July 4th in America. Crowds gathered to watch fireworks on the city's beachfront promenade. Then gunshots, a roaring engine, and screams.
I just knew that we had to run for our lives.
The driver of a large truck firing into the crowd, then barreling down the street in a murderous tear that lasted for more than a mile.
You could hear banging sounds as the truck drove over people.
Among the dead, parents and children.
That was the worst thing, was watching couples and parents running with their children. The terror, just their fear.
With bodies littering the street, police shot the driver dead, later finding guns, explosives, and grenades in the truck. The shockwave from the attack rolled across the Atlantic and onto the presidential campaign trail. Hillary Clinton calling for greater intelligence gathering to fight terror. Donald Trump telling Fox News he'd ask for a declaration of war against ISIS. Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich, while the investigation has only just begun, offering a more extreme reaction.
We should, frankly, test every person from here who is of a Muslim background, and if they believe in Sharia, they should be deported.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Well, the French president plans to call a defense council meeting, bringing together defense, interior, and other key ministers today. Meanwhile, the city of Marseille has canceled its fireworks show for tonight. Back here in Kentucky, it is a big day for the state legislature as several new laws will take effect today.
Right. They passed them back in April. Now they go into effect. The measures were passed in the 2016 Kentucky General Assembly. WKYT's Mark Barber is joining us from our live desk with a closer look at some of those changes. Mark, good morning.
Bill, from new laws about alcohol sales and driving under the influence to laws about CPR and bullying, we're waking up to dozens of changes this morning. The limits for on-site sales at distilleries have been raised from 3 liters to 9 liters. The new state regulations will now allow malt beverages to be sold at festivals and will allow drinking on quadricycles, which are also known as party bikes. Bed and breakfasts will be permitted to sell liquor by the drink. One of the new laws will likely lead to an increase in the number of felony DUI convictions. The state will now allow the courts to look back at 10 years of prior convictions instead of the previous 5 years. Under House Bill 316, you can also expect to see a clear-cut explanation of bullying added to state law books. The Commonwealth is also requiring all high school students to learn CPR. And of course, that's just a handful of the new laws that are now going into effect. The biggest changes we're following are coming to marriage licenses, abortion, and felony expungement. We'll break down those key new laws for you coming up at 6:30. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thank you, Mark. Former corrections officers in jail this morning on charges of sexual abuse against an inmate. Michelle Chamberlain is at our alert desk with details on this.
Yes, Rebecca, former corrections is accused of sexual misconduct with a female inmate. Kentucky State Police arrested Jones on Tuesday and charged him with sexual abuse and official misconduct. State Police in Frankfort got a complaint about the misconduct from the Kentucky Correctional Institution for Women near Pewee Valley in Shelby County about a week ago. Now our news partners at the Lexington Herald-Leader report that Jones was fired the next day after he was interviewed by state police. This morning, Jones, who is from Lexington, is in the Shelby County Jail. He's being held on a $5,000 cash bond. Bill?
All right. Thank you very much, Michelle. Deputies are investigating a deadly crash in Boyle County this morning. It happened about 10 o'clock last night at the intersection of US 127 and Shelby Street in Junction City. Deputies say a car was headed southbound on US 127 when 3 people tried crossing the street. They say the car hit one of the pedestrians, 19-year-old John Knight. Knight was taken to the hospital where he later died. Deputies say the crash and the circumstances are still under investigation.
A Pulaski County woman accused of helping her boyfriend murder his father will be sentenced today. Amanda Braddock pleaded guilty for her role in the murder of Edward Van Warmer back in May. She's charged with theft and evidence tampering. Her boyfriend, Jedediah Van Warmer, is accused of shooting and killing his own father. He'll be in court today for a hearing. Police found Edward Van Warmer's body buried under a concrete slab at his home.
For 22 years, they have not stopped looking and wondering. And on July 3rd, 1994, 21-year-old Linda Gibson and her 4-year-old half-brother Cody Garrett went missing. On July 7th of that year, their bodies were found brutally murdered. And now her 3 younger brothers tell us that they still want answers because they say somebody knows something.
I know that people out there for 20-something years have seen it and heard about this. Either they're afraid to tell, or they're afraid to tell what they know, or on who they know it on, or because I just don't believe that nobody don't know anything.
The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office has told us that in the past they believe someone may have had a personal vengeance against Gibson, and her brother was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, here in Lexington, we're hoping that the storms will hold off so that people can have some fun. Lots going on, right?
Oh, it's always so much fun when this fair is here, and nothing says summer like that fair. The Bluegrass Fair continues this weekend. WKYT's Mike Byer is live with more on what we all need to know about the fair. How you doing?
Good morning, Rebecca. I'm at Master Sensation Park for the annual Bluegrass Fair. There's plenty to take in for the next 10 days now. The fair started yesterday. Plenty of rides, games, good food, all that stuff. But there's a bigger meaning to this fair, and I'm with Mac Ferguson. He's the co-chairman for the Bluegrass Fair, and he's with the Lions Club. So, Mac, what does this fair mean to Lexington, to the Bluegrass area?
Well, this is our biggest fundraiser of the year. The Lions Club is a charitable organization. Our main focus is on vision and hearing. This fair helps us raise in the ballpark of about $150,000. After everything's said and done, all the bills are paid, we wind up with that. We put right back into the community. We help folks get eyeglasses, hearing aids, eye surgeries, just a number of things. We give back to the community in ways through charities, Bluegrass Council of the Blind, Central Kentucky Radio Eye, visually impaired preschoolers. That's just a few. It's just a community organization that gives back what needs to be done to the folks.
Well, that's great stuff. And then to go into some of the details here now, folks can come out. It's going to be a great weekend, correct? And as well as after that.
It's going to be a wonderful weekend. We go through the 24th. Tonight we have a special concert that's free with paid admission. You get in the gate for $6. You get to see Nick Jamerson, who's with Sunday's Best. Pretty good country star, local boy who's done good. So come on out, support him. We have Lady Houdini, escape artist, wonderful act. That's all included with your $6 general admission. Then when you get in, if you're a ride person, $20 unlimited rides. The gates open at 5, open at 3 on Saturday and Sunday. Come when the gates are open, you stay all night.
Awesome. You heard it here from Mac. The fair runs till July 24th. $6 will get you in, 6 and under free, and lots of unlimited rides you can take part in. Great food, great festivities. Come on out to the Bluegrass Fair. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Crossing my fingers like yesterday, where the Bluegrass Fair actually lucked out yesterday. We didn't have much rain here in Lexington. And today I expect about a 40% chance for Lexington for that Bluegrass Fair, mainly between 2 p.m. and about 5 p.m. That's your best bet to actually see rain across the Lexington viewing area. Don't forget Jessamine County kicking off, Franklin County, Whitley County kicking off their fair, and going throughout the next week or two. And down south, that's where we're actually seeing a couple of showers there in Whitley County. Williamsburg, Saxton, Jellicoe Mountain, then you work your way back towards, say, the 27 corridor. A few blips here and there just to the south in your Pine Knot area. Monticello, not really getting out on the mix yet, but there are some showers just to the south of you. Look like they're slowly edging toward you. If they stick together, still not much, but just kind of puts a damper on your morning. 69 degrees now in Lexington. At least it's not the mid-70s like we had yesterday. That was nasty. This is not a sauna as you walk out this morning like it was yesterday morning, but it's still, the moisture's there. And look, once we head throughout the day, 2 to 5 p.m. here in Lexington is when I expect the rain, at least a rain chance. Don't forget, it's spotty. Not everybody will see the rain today at 40%. But then it moves southbound. So it pops up in the northern zones, slides south as we go through the afternoon off into the evening hours. By the evening and night, should fade away. And I do expect overnight and into tomorrow things to dry out just a bit. However, still can't rule out a couple of rumbles of thunder there on Saturday. Most of us stay dry, but still can't rule out a couple of rumbles on Saturday, especially south of I-64. No severe weather expected. There's some good news for you. And if you have any plans, I would say stick to your plans. Just know you might have to dodge a couple of rumbles of thunder, especially the Lake Cumberland region, Laurel Lake, if you're heading out to the lake. Just keep that in mind. Sunday, though, looks pretty good, 87 degrees. I would make a trip there to the lake if you're even thinking about it there for the weekend. Just go ahead and do it. Then we head off toward next week. A couple showers, a couple of thunderstorms there on Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It looks to kind of dry some things on out. This isn't a bad forecast. Couple rumbles today and tomorrow, but for the most part, a majority of us stay dry.
One of our producers said she's going to a little bitty lake. I said we call that a pond.
Yeah, we call that a pond around here. Yep, she just took off. If you're going to Lake River, yeah, I would take it.
Whatever you do, hope everybody has a great time
There you
this
go.
weekend,
Yeah.
right? 6:11 on WKYT.
And let's bring you traffic right now and see what's happening.
Here's Officer Don with a check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Just check the circle to start things off for us, and we're okay on the inner and outer loops. And Man of War, Versailles Road, all the way over toward the Hamburg area, looking good. Let's check out things as far as traffic flow goes. You can see no problems on Nicholasville Road on the north side of town, North Broadway, Newtown Pike. All checks out okay, and so does Leestown this early in the morning. Live look, courtesy of the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government, New Circle, and North Broadway. This morning, that intersection clear on the north side. Things will pick up there in the next 30 minutes, and of course, we will keep you up to date on any collisions that occur or major delays that pop up. Now back to you in the studio.
Okay, already getting busy out there this morning, so we'll keep you updated as we head toward the morning rush. And we have a lot more news coming up on WKYT this Friday morning.
Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump respond to the attack in France by saying we're at war with terrorists, but both differ on how the U.S. should fight back.
Hey, good morning. It's good to have you with us on WKYT. Our time right now is 6:16 on your Friday. Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump condemned the apparent terrorist attack in France that has left at least 84 people dead and dozens more critically injured.
Both presidential candidates say we are at war with ISIS, but they've offered different ways of fighting back. And Brian Webb has a look from the latest from the campaign trail.
After the massacre in Nice, France, during a Bastille Day celebration, Donald Trump said on Fox News if he is elected president, he would ask Congress for a declaration of war against ISIS.
I would. This is war. If you look at it, this is war coming from all different parts. And frankly, it's war, and we're dealing with people without uniforms.
Trump delayed today's announcement of his vice presidential pick because of the attack. CBS News has confirmed his VP pick will be Indiana Governor Mike Pence. In a separate interview, Hillary Clinton said the U.S. is in a war against radical jihadist groups and said she would focus on building a stronger coalition to prevent future attacks.
It's a different kind of war. We need to be smart about how we wage it, but we have to be determined that we're going to win it.
After the terror attack in Orlando 1 month ago, U.S. authorities had already been on high alert ahead of next week's Republican National Convention.
Cleveland authorities and the planners for that event and the one in Philadelphia have to look at this as having the potential to inspire somebody domestically with its ease, because moving trucks, transport vehicles like this are everywhere.
Clearly, the nays have it.
Last night in Cleveland, a GOP committee defeated an effort to unbind delegates at next week's convention. It's a major blow to a group of conservatives who wanted to stop Trump's nomination. Brian Webb for CBS News.
Well, a Kentucky state senator has been invited to speak at the Republican National Convention next week in prime time. The Kentucky Republican Party says Senator Ralph Alvarado, who is a physician from Winchester, will be speaking at 9 o'clock on Wednesday night. In a news release, Alvarado said he will speak about how he believes the Republican Party is the party of opportunity for voters of all backgrounds, especially Hispanics. U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky is also scheduled to speak at the convention.
Elton Sterling, who was involved in a involved death, partly motivated the ambush killings of 5 police officers in Dallas. He's being laid to rest in Louisiana today. Mourners gathered in Minnesota yesterday to remember Philando Castile, who This shooting death also sparked some national outrage. There will be a memorial and funeral service today for 2 of the slain Dallas police officers. Congress has left Washington for a 7-week break without passing a bill to pay for the fight against the Zika virus. Senate Democrats refused to support the bill to provide $1.1 billion to combat the spread of Zika, objecting to added language restricting birth control and adding cuts to Obamacare, among others. The CDC says there are more than 1,000 Americans in the U.S. with travel-associated cases of Zika, including 320 pregnant women.
We're coming up on 6:20 on WKYT this morning, and glad you're along with us on your Friday. MasterCard is getting a makeover. The company unveiled a sleeker logo that includes its familiar red and yellow interlocking circles, but it downplays its name. Executives hope the updated design will simplify the brand for consumers and merchants. The new look will debut on its MasterPass digital service at the end of the month. You'll soon be able to read the label to see if foods contain genetically modified ingredients. The White House says President Obama will sign a bill requiring most food packaging labels to disclose GMOs. The Agriculture Department will have 2 years to write the rules for that. David Bowie's art collection is going on the auction block. Sotheby's will sell about 400 items, including an extensive collection of British art. The collection will be displayed in London, New York, and L.A. before the auction in London in November. The sale is expected to bring about $13 million. And what about this for a ride? Mercedes-Benz is ready to hit the links with some luxury on the golf course. Check out this new concept golf cart that could up your game to a whole new level. The interior is made of wood, brushed metal, and leather. There's even a refrigerator under the seat. There's also a touch screen display that shows not only driving information, but it also displays a map of the course with weather information as well. Now, only 2 of those golf carts have been made so far, but Mercedes says it is ready to ramp up production if there is enough interest. So we will see, huh? What about that?
Interested party right here.
Yeah.
I don't even need the actual Mercedes.
Exactly. Be a good
I
ride.
like
You know,
that
and a lot
thing.
of our towns allow people to drive them around on streets. So there you
Pretty
go.
fun.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. WKYT This Morning is just getting started. A comedian spoofs a spin on the Pokemon Go game, sweeping the country. But this time it's for moms.
And we do have a chance of rain for today, and a small chance of rain there for your Saturday, but it's a much drier forecast. I'm going to talk about that rain chance, when it pops up, where it's going to move on through, help you plan out today and your weekend. Coming up next.
Welcome back. It's 6:25. French authorities right now are investigating what led to Thursday's apparent terror attack in the resort town of Nice.
Right, the latest on that is what is trending at this hour on WKYT.com. At least 84 people are dead, including several children, after the driver of a truck plowed through a crowd gathered for Bastille Day celebrations. CBS News is reporting that an American father and a son there also are among the dead. The driver was killed by police. So far, no group has claimed responsibility for the incident. But to check weather, lots of things going on for the weekend here in Kentucky. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris.
How great is this shot early this morning? That's kind of the perk of getting up so early, is you get sunrises like these all the time. Fantastic shot, live sky camera. on a good vantage point, right? And if you have those pictures, send them to me. Get on Twitter right now on your phone, take a snapshot, send them to me, Micah Harris, WX. I'd love to show them off for you. Defender Radar Network, not everybody's getting that. Down toward the far southern half, that's what we're seeing. A couple of light showers, Clinton, Wayne, McCreary, Whitley, Knox, and Bell counties. At least parts of those counties actually seeing a few showers. Slight chance of rain during the morning hours. Then we hit the afternoon, anywhere from 2 p.m. to about 8 p.m. is your best bet to see a few storms pop up in the north, slide southbound. Central and northern zones have the best chance of rain today, but no severe weather expected, guys. We're going to talk about your weekend forecast coming up.
And we look forward to that, and we'll have that for you coming up in just a bit. It is safe to say that Pokemon Go has swept the nation and the world, really. And while it is everywhere, it's not necessarily for everybody.
A New Jersey comedian has actually introduced a new spin on the game that she says is just for moms called Chardonnay Go. I like that. Yep, with Chardonnay Go, players use their phones to hunt for glasses of wine hidden all over instead of those creepy digital figures.
No!
Wow, the game isn't real, but don't you wish it was?
The longer you play, the more you enjoy,
you know what?
I guess, huh?
Mine would be Merlot Go, okay? I'm definitely a red fan. Maybe a game just for dads, maybe called Jack and Coke. Jack and Coke Iman? Iman?
I don't know. But anyway,
Go?
it could be
Jack and Kokomon?
You could
Kokomon, Jack and Kokomon Go, okay.
There you go. Yeah, get that in there. And, you know, the two candidates for president have joined it. They're talking about Pokemon and all that. So
they're trying to incorporate that into
playing
their
to the crowd,
platforms.
I think. Yeah, you got it. All right, 6:27 on WKYT, and our top stories are on the way.
When WKYT this morning returns, a Powell County fire is under investigation this morning. We'll have a look at the damage in that at 6:30.
And tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $20 million. Tomorrow's Powerball jackpot is $333 million. We're glad you're with us on WKYT this morning.
Energy.